What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're back with some more Senran Kagura Burst. We finished the Hanzo story, but we're still not done yet. And I really do mean specifically the Hanzo story, because we still have one more character that we need to unlock. And by one more, I mean, like, there's only one character that you have to unlock in the Hanzo story, which is Daisoji. And then in the Burst story, you unlock Ren, I'm pretty sure. And so you have to beat the story for you to even have access to both. But even then, the final obstacle is to have one big boss battle with everybody. And so, Daisoji is super duper strong, and Rin is super duper fast. And so, you know, you kinda have to get stronger for both. So we already beat the game, and obviously we went into frantic mode and beat all the last bosses and stuff with all the different characters. But that's not enough from the looks of it, because Yagyu, and I think, yeah, I think Yagyu, Katsuragi, I forget which, it's like a couple of characters. I keep looking at my phone, sorry. It just, right now, as soon as it started streaming, it started popping up and making noises, so I'm putting it on vibrator, so that I don't have to, you know, get distracted by it. So, we want to look at our levels here. I'm remembering back into the advice from the chat, specifically from old Brandon here, saying that we at least gotta be like, well, like 21 to be able to, you know, have a chance against Daisoji. I think with Asuka, we don't have a problem. She's 29. I might want to be able to bump it up to 30 at the very least, you know? We're only one level away, so we can just do one of the tougher missions, the extra missions, I mean, and then just do it in frantic mode, because we have the Yang already maxed out, so we only have the other bar to fill up. And with all the other characters, we can fill up the Yang meter as well. We're not going to be doing frantic for the other ones, so we're definitely gonna focus on Yang and maxing that out and having more combos and just be stronger overall. Let's level up the other girls to level 21 or 25. Yeah, and you know, considering how easy it is to level up for the most part, I think I'm probably gonna do 25 at the very minimum. Yeah, and everybody's super close to 25 as this. Katsuragi and Yagi are the only ones that are going to take quote-unquote work, but depending on how tough depending on how many enemies there are in whatever given mission we do, we are gonna be able to level up pretty damn fast. And then we got Hibari with 23. So yeah, I think Asuka will be 30, and then Hibari just bump her up a little bit to 25, maybe 26. And for them, yeah, 25, 25. Yeah, I think minimum 25, and I guess max will be 30. I think we'll start off with Katsuragi. She's the lowest level one, ironically. She's technically one of the stronger characters, but you know, I just haven't given her the love and attention that I should have, because I've been busy doing other things. I've been busy buying Shin Megami Tensei 5 on Switch so that I can play it. So yeah, as I've said many times, I very rarely pre-order games. I very rarely, almost never, buy games on launch day and then play them. I usually wait for sales. I usually wait until much later, when they're like, you know, when the reviews come in, when sometime when the hype has died down, when I have more money or something like that. Yeah, you know, there's always many different conditions. But when it comes to Shin Megami Tensei 5, I mean, after the masterpiece that was SMT Forum for Apocalypse, after Strange Journey Redux, after all of those, I think it's worth it. I've seen reviews. I know that the game is out, like the game leaked out online and people can technically download it and play it and stuff, but by the time I found that out, I had already forked the $60 for it. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait for the Switch version. And besides, considering that it's a brand new game in 2021, I doubt that my computer would even be able to run it anyway. So yeah, I paid the money and I don't regret it at all. I'm ready to get into that game on what, the 12th? On the 12th, technically the 11th, at night, because of my time zone. It's like 9 p.m. Anyway, Evil Shinobi popping up near the lighthouse. Yeah, so the vast majority of this stream, maybe like the first 90 minutes of it, is gonna be me leveling up and just grinding and just shooting the breeze, not really worrying too much or thinking about a whole lot of stuff. I'm just here to make my character stronger, so I'm just gonna have to You're gonna have to hit it fast. If we have any chance of defeating Daisoji, then we're certainly gonna have to do this. Which isn't something that I hate. There we go. We're already leveled up once. Quite the opposite, in fact. I quite thoroughly enjoy playing this. I enjoy playing this a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and just have fun and make some progress in the process. But yeah, I could talk about Shin Megami Tensei and the upcoming game. While I do this, we can bring up some conversation topics. I'm still playing Nocturne. I'm stuck. Where in, like, the many parts of Shin Megami Tensei 3 are you stuck? Because I know I can tell you from experience that one of the biggest reasons for why I love the Nintendo Switch remaster of SMT3 Nocturne is that it comes with an easier mode. It comes with, like, a casual, like, a safety mode or something where you can just die and then immediately come back to life. I know that for some people that are really hardcore into SMT, Prison with Snakes, yeah, I feel you. But, yeah, my favorite thing about the remaster is that you can do, like, a super duper easy, like, baby mode where if you die, you can immediately come back to life. And I know that might be, like, blasphemy. That might be awful to hear from, like, hardcore SMT fans of, like, no, the only legitimate way to play it is by, like, putting it on ultra super duper hard and getting a one-hit KO from even the weakest monster. That's the real way to play it. I don't care. I like enjoying the atmosphere and the story, the soundtrack. I like, you know, the demon catching and all that stuff. I love the experience of playing these games, and I've had my fair share of, you know, super difficult games that I haven't been able to, like, you know, beat until I either grind or hit my head on the wall with, you know, all of these strategies to see what sticks, you know? I, played Strange Journey Redux, and I have not been able to beat that game. I'm literally in the final boss, and, that's where I got stuck, literally in the final boss. And, it's so impossibly hard that I just never beat it. I went on YouTube and I looked up the ending that I got, which was for Neutral Route. I don't know what it is about me, but I always naturally, without me even looking up a walkthrough or anything, I always end up with the neutral run of every single game I played. With Shin Megami Tensei 4 and 4 Apocalypse, I got the true ending, the true, like, neutral canon ending for all of those, without even thinking about it. I know that for a lot of people, they kind of just naturally end up on either Order or Chaos, but for me, that's never been the case, and I never worry, because I'm, like, just, with my personality and just the kind of person that I am, I just end up gravitating towards the neutral path, and, I never worry about that. I always feel like I'm getting the best ending, because technically, it's always the neutral endings, right? That kind of count officially as, like, the canon endings. I know there are some games, like Strange Journey, where they kind of go like, you know, whatever you want, whatever you consider to be the canon ending, whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. These are all, like, equally legitimate timelines, and Strange Journey is only one game. There aren't any sequels that kind of conflict with it or anything, so you can kind of just, you know, believe whatever headcanon you want. And at the end of the day, it's a piece of fiction, right? It's a video game. This is not actually happening in real life, friendly reminder, so it doesn't really matter what history you want to have, right? There's not revisionist history or anything. There's not like a historian is going to come up to you and say, wait, that is not factually correct. Whatever, it's a video game, right? And so, yeah, I remember with SMT4 and for Apocalypse, I got both, like, true endings. For Strange Journey, I just, like, beelined it to the real final boss because without even trying, I got neutral path. And with SMT3, oh wait, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, have I ever beaten SMT3? The original PS2 game? No. Actually, I don't think I have. I'm thinking about, did I do neutral path? Like, I'm thinking about that because I've seen the endings. Like, I have, like, the vision of the cutscenes in my head, but now that I think about it, it's like, was that actually me pressing the buttons, or was that me, like, looking up a playthrough? And I think it's me looking up a playthrough. Because I do remember the game being, like, really, really hard and getting stuck in many different parts and just not being able to get through it. And I've been enjoying the remaster an enormous amount because there's this like super duper easy difficulty level now where if I die, I can just immediately be revived and not have to worry. And you know, I'm not streaming, I'm not recording it, or I'm not doing anything where like, you know, people can judge me for it, you know? I don't really care. I don't care what you think of me. I'm gonna play this on easy and that's that. And I swear to gosh, if you ask me to play on hard again, I'm turning this car around. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5, I've been doing nothing but like looking up footage for it on YouTube and obviously looking at the articles of like, oh no, the game leaked early and people are already playing it, and you know, you can by the time the game comes out, there's gonna be like videos out there of like, here's a compilation of all of the endings, right? Or something like that. Because either people play it really fast or people just hack into the like the files of the game and just play like, you know, they just play the ending without actually playing through the whole thing. I don't know. There we go. Orayo! THP, what is a game that you like that everyone else hates? There was actually a video that I was planning on doing for that topic. And I remember having a list, but it's been a long time ago and I forgot, but like, that's a really good question. Well, what's a game that no one else likes that I like? I don't know, like probably Senran Kagura, you know? Like in the eyes of the mainstream, Senran Kagura are seen as kind of like, you know, bad games because they're fan servicey and stuff like that. And you know, I love them and play them all the time, right? I feel like if I told people, yeah, man, I really like Senran Kagura Burst, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that fucking mess that runs at like 5 frames per second, I'll be like, no. Playing it emulated, that's the one that I like. I mean, I like the original 3DS one too, right? But I don't know. I know that with this kind of group, with everyone in the chat, it might not make sense for me to say it, but in the grander scheme of things, I guess Senran Kagura would be a pretty appropriate answer. Because in the eyes of many other people that is not us right here, they probably say they're pretty bad or cringe or not worth, you know, loving that much. But oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. But let me think of other games that are generally regarded as bad that I actually really like. You like Battlefield Hardline? Oh god, oh god. There we go. Let me do a ninja art. Battlefield Hardline, everyone hated it because they couldn't get the copy of the criminal setting a chance. Yeah, a lot of people just thought it was boring. A lot of people thought that it was like a crappy, like, Fox... Like a canceled Fox TV show in between seasons of Dr. House and Family Guy. And, you know, I never really played it. I've seen, like, cutscenes and clips of it and stuff, but to me the game seemed whatever, like a very story-focused Battlefield game. You know, the single-player campaign was kind of like the main thing about it. I remember people having other complaints about it outside of just not liking cops. I remember there being more to it than that, but I haven't played it myself. I haven't done anything beyond just looking up clips and stuff. Finish it off. I'm trying to think. I guess like Travis Strikes Again, that No More Heroes game. No. There we go. Epic save. A lot of people really don't like Star Wars Battlefront 2 because of all of the scummy, you know, microtransaction stuff and like the loot boxes and all that stuff. They have since then changed a lot of stuff, you know? They pretty much removed all of that scummy stuff from Battlefront 2 and from every Star Wars game for that matter. Ever since they did everyone so dirty with the Battlefront 2 stuff, they have shaped up ever since. And every future Star Wars game, from Squadrons to Jedi Fallen Order and all that stuff, they have not dared to put in like free-to-play microtransaction stuff since then. And I think that's for the better. I just wish, you know, they didn't have to, like, screw people over like that in the first place instead of having to wait for the government to get involved. I'm one of the few people who actually like the Devil May Cry reboot. Oh, yeah, that's right. There we go. That's a fantastic one. Yeah, I like that one too. DMC Devil May Cry. I like that game too. I think the story and the characters are super stupid. It's a really ugly looking game, but the gameplay is still very much Devil May Cry. I like that you can switch from like angel weapons to demon weapons or whatever. Now that kind of flipperoonie where depending on what enemy you're fighting, you got to switch to all these different modes. It's cool. I like it, and I like how the levels have like the text scrolling by, and like the stages are like morphing all the time, and you can like fight sideways. It's very Bayonetta in that aspect. But yeah, the game is really gray. Yeah, it's definitely like a very edgelordy, like you know, emo, shut up, dad kind of atmosphere. But I like it. The gameplay is awesome, but yeah, the story is just kind of crap. It feels like a Netflix movie, like an American-made Netflix movie of something that's Japanese, right? Imagine the Death Note movie. Do you guys remember the Netflix Death Note movie? Where they try to Americanize it and have all these American actors and not really getting why the original was good. It's kind of like that. DMC feels like the Death Note movie from Netflix, but there's gameplay there, and that's the part that's really fun. Alright, level 22. What other games that I really like that that other people generally don't? I can't really think of any right now. Right off the top, I'm pretty positive I had a list somewhere of like exactly that, like games that I really liked, like guilty pleasures or something like that. Although I really don't like the term guilty pleasure, because that implies that there has to be like shame, you know, attached to you liking something. Like you have to make excuses for why you like something, which is not really something that ever sat well with me. I think if you like something, you should just like it regardless of what other people think. I think it's really unfair that because, you know, funny haha lol internet man said that something was bad, so now, you know, then like you have to like make excuses for why you like it. I just never liked that idea. I think there's nothing wrong with unapologetically just enjoying something, regardless if everyone thinks that is bad. I think, do you guys know those, Oni-Chambara games? The, Bikini Zombie Squad kinda games? They're zombie games where, like, it's hot girls with a sword. And you kill zombies. The first few games that came out on, like, the Nintendo Wii and stuff were pretty terrible. But the newer ones, I remember there was like a PS4 one, like Oni-Chambara Zero or whatever. And it's not even Oni-Chambara, it's One-Chambara, because it's like Big Sister, One-chan, Big Sister Zombie Slayer or whatever, so yeah. Apologies for pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, One-Chambara, like Z0 or One-Chambara Z or something. Like the last few like PS4, PS3 games that came out are legitimately really fun to play. But I remember like the first like 2 or 3 that came out being kind of Don't kill me, but I didn't hate Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't remember a whole lot about Call of Duty Ghosts. I remember playing it a couple of times, and I remember not hating it either. One thing that I really like, that I get the sense that other people don't, is the fucking zombie mode from Call of Duty. Every single zombie mode since the very first one in World of War I've always enjoyed. But I've seen some people, and again, by when I mean some people, I mean like random ass internet personalities that have hot takes. There are some people that have like this really strange like video game racism against the zombie mode for Call of Duty. You know, they're saying that, oh, they should just put it somewhere else. They need to have it be its own game and not infect, not taint the pure, prestigious sanctity of Call of Duty. And I'm like, fuck off. It's like they want to segregate like Call of Duty and the zombie mode. Is like, yeah, take it back to its country where it belongs, you know? It's like people are like super like anti-zombie. And they just don't want to see it at all, ever, in the Call of Duty game. Which I think is super stupid. Living in a world where it's already difficult enough to have like proper value out of the games that you pay $60 for. They are eager to take stuff away. Which I think is the stupidest shit. And if you don't like it, you can just not play that part, you know? It's not gonna affect you. And if they put it out as their own separate game, is not like that logic of like, oh, you know, don't put it in the game so that there's more resources that can be put in place for the real Call of Duty experience. Well, that doesn't make sense either, because if they're gonna make their own game, if anything, that's more resources spent, because now they're making 2 games instead of 1, right? And so, yeah, I've never understood this, like Call of Duty zombies hate. For me, the zombie mode is usually my favorite part. Because it comes with its own unique story. It has actual unique, different, and fun things that happen. Instead of just like a linear, military, macho man, oorah kind of story. Where I have to hear a guy go, stay frosty, a million times. There's actual, like, different and creative things that happen in those stories. In the zombie stories, like being able to play as, like, John F. Kennedy or Ronald Reagan or whatever. It's just silly, you know? It does what I wanted Left 4 Dead to be. Which is to just, like, be an anthology of a bunch of, like, stupid-ass stories that are funny. And so, yeah, I've always deeply enjoyed the zombie mode. And I feel, I may be wrong, there might be some people that will come out of the woodwork and say, no! The zombie mode is great, but, you know, whenever I want to talk about zombie mode, there's always people going, bleh, no. And I'm like, alright, asshole, I guess I won't talk about it. Sorry for bringing it up, you know? But yeah, I just feel weird talking about it because I feel like other people don't. But I like zombie mode a lot. Gears of War 4 is the most hated, but I think you should play it. It was sort of a little bit... Okay. So you think Gears of War 4 is not that bad if you have the full context of the other games? Are you gonna get Yagyu a different outfit? I don't know. I don't care enough about Yagyu to think about it. But, why? Does the big bear costume bother you? I can change it, but the problem is that there really aren't that many outfits to work with, you know? Unless you just want, like, the default, like, boring Hanzo costume. Just a normal-ass costume. I'm curious. You're curious, huh? No ulterior motives? You don't want to influence me to change the outfit? I don't know. There's like other like smaller games that I enjoy a lot. When it comes to like the general video game opinion having hive mind, there's also a really mixed reception when it comes to Muso games, you know? Even for stuff that's, like, branded in a way that people like. For example, I really, really like stuff like One Piece Pirate Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, anything with warriors at the end. Even like the Attack on Titan game, the Berserk game. I think all of those are cool. I really like Musou games. But I feel like if you ask any, like, the average Kotaku game reviewer, they're probably gonna be like, oh, they're boring and weird and it's the same thing all the time. Nah, nah, nah. Like, they're gonna complain, you know? They're gonna bitch about it before they say anything nice about it first. And so, if that counts as a game that no one else likes that I really like, can we just have, like, the entire Musou genre as a selection? Alright, another yang, another yin technique. About Senran, I know what you think of Ninja Flash and Shinobi Masters, but what about that OVA made to complement Estival Versus? Which I think was made for weebs with a giant test fetish. No, like, if the anime sucked, then that stupid OVA sucked even harder. It was nothing. I mean, I know it was meant as sort of like a teaser or like a prequel to Estival Versus. I thought it was kind of crappy. Buildings at dusk. Evil shinobi have secretly taken the heliport until the VP's helicopter arrives. Hold him off at all cost. Okay. Musou games are underrated. Yeah, I think they are underrated, especially when all of these different ones always have little tiny things that set them apart from one another. And then mostly with the branding, right? Because if it's Hyrule Warriors, then it has all of the Zelda stuff and the Zelda, you know, maps and aspect to it. It has the music and the characters. There's a different graphical style. The enemies are redone, right? It's not just like the same characters, just like rehashed from, say, the Nintendo 64 game and just giving them to you again, right? They're redesigned and look all unique and different. For One Piece, they retell practically the entire story. If you play Pirate Warriors 3 and then Pirate Warriors 4, you can get a pretty decent, you can get a pretty decent refresher course on the entire story all the way to Wano. Alright. Let's try and not die here. I just have to survive, right? I don't have to actually advance anywhere or kill anyone in particular. It's literally just keep fighting until we tell you to stop. Okay. There we go. I really do hope I level up. Yeah, the cross slash at this point is not gonna do enough. Or maybe, or will it? I don't know. Can I have, can I cheat a little bit and say that a selection for game that everyone hates, but I really love? Can you just have the entire, like, mobile games market as a choice? Because I feel like I'm alone. I feel lonely whenever I say that a phone game is good. Whenever I even imply that a phone game might be good, I get looked at weird. Like I just, like, talked in a different language that they don't understand. Okay, maybe let's not do frantic mode. Let's not do frantic. I just need to level up once. Just so that I can get a clean 30 out of this. Clearing a helipad for a VIP seems more like a guessing job than anything. Well, guessing are good shinobi. The Hanzo girls are also good shinobi. I don't see where the difference lies. People always think that phone games being good are like this fucking impossibility of life. But it's only like Western, like American people that think that, as far as I know. Because literally everybody else from all of the other countries in the world, they play mainly on their phones. In Japan, in Asia, in China, in Thailand, in Mexico. there's so many different places where, like, phone games are just, like, the thing, you know? People play Fortnite on there. People play, obviously, a ton of free-to-play stuff. And that's not the stuff that I'm playing. When I say that phone games are good, I don't mean, like, you know, I'm not talking about, like, that, like, crappy Dungeon Keeper free-to-play game. I'm not talking about, like, Azure Lane or New Link or anything like that. I'm talking stuff like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know? I'm talking about Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. When I say that games are good, I mean, like, playing Chrono Trigger on your phone. I'm talking about playing all of Phoenix Wright on your phone. I'm talking about playing all of those, like, Sega Genesis games that you can download and play for free. With ads, but it's for free. I'm talking about, like, the best version of Sonic CD. I'm talking about, like, Arkanoid versus Space Invaders. I'm talking about Infinity Blade. Infinity Blade 1 specifically. Because I think 2 and 3 are kind of, like, not as good. I'm talking about Doom and Doom 2. I'm talking about GTA 3. I'm talking about GTA 3, about San Andreas. I'm talking about Vice City. I'm talking about all the Lego Star Wars games. Phone games are good. Just stop playing free-to-play shit. And believe me, your perspective will change very quickly. Castlevania. There we go. As long as people stop playing, as soon as people stop putting money into free-to-play shit, companies are gonna stop doing it. And then they're gonna survey you and go, what do you like? And then you'll say, games that you only have to pay for once that are full of content. Dragalia Law is a free-to-play game. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm not talking about free-to-play stuff. I'm talking about games that... like legit, complete games with a full beginning, middle, and end. Where you pay for it once and you never have to pay for it again. The Room 2, The Room 3, Monument Valley 2, Threes. There's a ton of really great games out there. But people don't know about them because they would rather bitch and moan about how much free-to-play game sucks while still giving them their money. But yeah. I think, yeah, well, what's a game that I like that everyone else hates? The entire mobile games market. At least in terms of a Western viewpoint, because it seems to me that literally all of the other countries in the world, they value phone games a little bit more. I wonder if anyone here is free-to-play. I don't know if anybody here in the audience is a free-to-play game, but, yeah, well. There's a hack-and-slash virtual novel? Don't you mean visual novel? Phone game that's based off of my favorite horror series that's good? Alright, we survived for 4 minutes. There's a, you know, we could also flip it. We can flip it to the other way around and say, what's a game that I hate that everybody else seems to really, really like? But although that's kind of, it's always weird if flipping it like that, because then that's where people get mad at you. Because you talk about, like, a really good game, and then your only argument is like, I just don't get it. And then, people get mad. So I don't know if I want to touch on that. But, like, what example can I give? There's always this one game in particular that a lot of people show, like, they like, worship it. They, like, cream their pants when they see it. Pokemon Snap. Like the Nintendo 64 game. And then like this new Nintendo Switch one. I think Pokemon Snap is the most boring fucking like whatever who cares fucking game ever. And people love it. They say, it's fun. And I'm like, is it? It's not fun for me. I might as well like sit around and watch like Planet Earth, right? Or like watch like a Discovery Channel documentary or watch Animals Frolic. That's about as fun as it is for me. But is that typical like nostalgic people being slaves to the fucking brand? Where like because it's Pokemon, that's why they like it. If it was like normal, regular animals, like dogs and horses and stuff, if it was Africa for the PlayStation 3, no one gave a shit about that. In fact, people bring up Africa from the PlayStation 3 as a point of ridicule. They name drop it as a joke in and of itself, and people laugh. But no, put Pokemon on the exact same game and it's like, oh my god, I'm getting a day one $60, right? You can look at the Puzzles and Dragons like Match 3 game on 3DS, and no one cares. Literally no one will ever talk about it. But then they put out that one version that has the Mario, the Super Mario Brothers version of that game, and everybody talked about it. You had like Game Explained putting out like 10-second videos of every single little mundane millisecond of the Mario part of that game. And no one ever gave a shit about the actual Puzzles and Dragons part of it. That's how blind people are. Points are being made today. But yeah, like, I mean, I can talk about games that I don't like that everyone else does, but I think it's even harder. It's even harder to think about games that I like that no one else does. But yeah, you know, that's like hot take kind of territory that I don't really like getting into too much because then fights begin. I don't hate Modern Warfare 2, but when I was 14 and I recalled a Game of the Year, I didn't think it was that good. No, I think Modern Warfare 1 and 2 are pretty good. I think they deserve the Modern Warfare 1, absolutely Game of the Year for its time. Yes. That game is responsible for completely changing the face of first-person shooters in the modern day. You can still feel its influence now. It is a heavily influential game. Now, if you want to look at it from a political lens, then there's gonna be like smarter people than me that will say that it's problematic and that kind of stuff. But as a video game, it was fucking cool, and it totally just changed the face of online play. It changed the face of, you know, the setting and then the way that other people would make their own games. Modern Warfare 2 was a follow-up to that, and it was pretty decent. And yeah, you know, maybe not Game of the Year, but definitely a nominee for me. I think, like, Grand Theft Auto 4 was coming out at around the same time as Modern Warfare 2, if I'm not mistaken. And GTA 4, back when it came out, absolutely blew everybody's socks off, including my own. A lot of people, like, really fell in love with GTA 4. And that, you know, along with Modern Warfare and BioShock and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like, around that time, like, when the Nintendo Wii came out, 2006, 2007, around those times where, like, the PS3 was kind of picking up steam, the Xbox 360 was killing it, Steam was getting very popular, the Nintendo Wii came out. Gaming, I think, was at its absolute peak back then. You had, like, Zelda Twilight Princess as, like, a launch game. There were all of these amazing games coming out. Half-Life 2, you know? Not Episode 1 or 2 or whatever, just Half-Life 2. The Source Engine, Team Fortress 2. And I think, like, Left 4 Dead 1 was not too far off. And I think, when did Portal 1 come out? 2007, I think, right? So yeah, like, That was also like around the years where Portal 1 was blowing everyone away. Yeah, it's 2006, 2007, maybe a little bit of 2008 was like one of the best years for video games, I would say. That's where the video game landscape really started changing, like drastically. You can kind of still feel a lot of the effects of it now. Did everyone disagree? Every FPS where they create a class option came from Modern Warfare? Yeah. I wonder if any one of you have played any of the worst games but has some best scenes or its gameplay. You mean like bad games that have like really good moments? Yeah, there's probably something out there. I'm surprised you knew all of the Steam games. Well, Steam back in the day wasn't like how it is now, where it's like every single game in the universe. Before, it was literally just the Valve stuff, right? So like, so just Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Team Fortress. I am going to die. Oh, gimme. There we go. Oh, and I leveled up on top of that. Oh, I should not have picked up the health then. Amen. PS3 and 360 gen was easily the peak. Yeah, it was awesome, man. When everybody was like getting into the Xbox 360 and Xbox Live absolutely like shattered what the hell it meant to play multiplayer. That's when online multiplayer really became a thing, right? With Xbox Live and your gamer tag and how many gamer points you had, right? That's when achievements were also a thing, right? Xbox was the one that started all of that with the achievements and getting achievement points and people getting obsessed about like buying games that had a ton of achievements in it just so that they could show off that they had the biggest amount of points or whatever. People call those people like achievement whores or achievement hunters. And then the PlayStation 3 copied it and said, well, we have trophies. And that's what I ended up gravitating towards. The trophies. Nintendo never quite did it. I know that with the Wii U, they had like stickers and like the yeah, like the Miiverse? Yeah, Miiverse, that's what it was called. They had like their own little social network kind of